This episode of the Community Workbench is brought to you by yours truly, the realtor Matt Noren of Remax Bell Park Realty. For all of your real estate needs, call me at 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Welcome to the Community Workbench. I'm your host, Matt Noren. At the bench, we interview small business entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever I feel like having on. Today, we have my co-host, Kyle Morrissey here. He will be monitoring Facebook Live, so we encourage questions and comments. And now, without further ado, our honored guest, owner-operator of Danielson's, The Chop Shop, Ryan Howley. Hey, Ryan.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Dude, I gotta say, you're one of the first that just reached out, and I was like, I gotta get this guy on the schedule fast as I can. And I'm just meeting you for tonight. So tonight, it's all about you, and your business, and your origin story. So go ahead and start with where you're from. You grew up around here, that kind of thing, and then.
Yeah, so it was funny, right? So I'm always watching podcasts at night, laying in bed, and I'm like, man, I'd love to be on, we all fantasize about it a little bit. Like, I was sitting on Joe Rogan's show or something.
God, yeah.
And then I saw you guys were doing podcasts, and you were right down the street from me. So, it was like, I think 11 at night, I reached out, and here we are.
Yeah.
So, I've been barbering for about, 22 years professionally.
Wow.
I've been in business since I was about 22 with Angelo Exahulius. We opened up a shop together called The Barber Shop. And even to rewind it, I'll kind of give you how I started in this trade. So I had 3 younger brothers. My mother, to save money, I think, or just out of convenience, she would cut our hair with the home haircut kit. And needless to say, I took over the clippers. I was like, let me give it a shot, Mom.
And the bowl.
Yeah, exactly. The shower bowl. So I started cutting my brother's hair, and then that turned into kind of like this interest where I wanted to see how good I could get, Started cutting my friend's hair for free, of course, at first, and then started charging $5. And then in high school, doing house calls, even colleges. My buddies are at college. I'm in barber school, and, you make some money on the side, and I just had a passion for it. So I got a job at Cali Company. It was called Cali Image and then Cali Company by Joanne Bates up in Putnam. She, big salon. There's probably 9 stylists, all women. And I went in there and I started answering the phone just to see if, all right, is this even an industry that I have an interest in? Kind of test the waters. So I started doing the receptionist stuff, and then she would train me with women's hair and kind of maybe the basics of barbering. And from there, she's like, if you go to school, I'll allow you to work here, and, you'll have a job. So I went to Rhode Island Beauty Academy in 2001, a couple months after I graduated high school. Got through that, and they kind of just teach you what you need to know to get out onto the work floor. The rest comes from on-the-job training. So I started working for her, and without getting into too much detail, I ended up dating one of the stylists that worked next to me. That's always a no-no, 'cause, when it goes south, and at 19 years old, it's going to go south. So she was about 5 feet away from me. So I was like, you know what? After 3.5 years, I'm going to leave. So I ended up kind of quitting on the spot, and I apologize, Joanne. You were very good to me. I ended up then calling a friend of mine, right? This guy, Ryan Doyle. He's passed away, so rest in peace. But his father owned Cut Above in Moose Up, Connecticut. It was kind of like a family hair salon, stuff like that. So I called up Gary. We had a little meeting. He's like, I'd love to have you. So there started my new journey at Cut Above. And I was working with Heidi Messier. She's been, hairstylist for, 30-something years. Amazing woman, heart of gold. And I was doing my thing, and kind of reviving, because the young clientele wasn't coming in there. So that was my job, get these young people in and show them what I can do. And it was working great. And then one of my good friends and former business partners, Angelo Exahulius, was like, dude, can you let me maybe job shadow you at work? Because it's part of the requirements when you get your license. I said, dude, what if I could do one better and get you a job? So I talked to Gary, and, Gary was a businessman. So he's like, he saw the dollar signs. He's like, let's do it. He blew down a wall of the salon, rented the place next door.
Nice.
And there it was, me, Angelo, Gary, Heidi, and me and Ange just, man, we crushed it. Being modest, but, we just had all the young guys coming in. We're booked every day. And that's where I really saw the potential in this business, in the success. So we did that for a couple of years, but then naturally you're like, why pay someone else when, we could do this ourselves. And no disrespect to Gary, who's also passed away last year. Rest in peace. So we gave him a year's heads up, and we were like, we're going to do our own thing. He was supportive, and we went out and we opened up the barbershop at, I think, 2003 on Center Street in Danielson.
Nice.
Wow.
And it goes further. So we'll just take a sip.
Yeah, I've had it.
So now, incredibly nerve-wracking, right? Because you're stepping out into the unknown. Are we going to make it? We invested tons of money. My uncle, I have to give him a shout out, David Lannon. I basically brought him a business plan, right? Because I had half the money. And he's like, all right, if you can show me that you have half, I'll fund the other half and you can pay me back. We'll work something out. So that we did, and we locked up that location. We totally redid it. And from day one, it was a success. As soon as we opened up that door, it was like we were booked and continuously booked for the next 7 years at that location.
Wow.
And then, you have to look at your rent. How much am I paying? My overhead's going up. Can we get a better deal elsewhere? Danielson at the time, it's still a work in progress, put it that way.
I agree.
So we're like, maybe if we go to Brooklyn, it'll be, I don't know, we'll get some more business. We'll be in like a plaza. So we hit up a friend of mine, Trevor Cardinal. They had down in the back where Gagnon Sign used to be. So we ended up taking over that. We did 4 years in that location. That was just as good,
Is that over by, like Sweet Peas?
behind Sweet Peas.
Oh, okay.
In the back.
Baker's,
So like a
that's it.
lawyer's office now. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So that was our location for another 4 years. And during that time, then just like every businessman's dream is to, every barber's dream is to have their own shop, or not every, but a lot of barbers. Now we're like, we need to own the location that we work out of, to really make a
Optimize.
financial investment.
Right.
Yeah. And optimize. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So me and Angelo bought this building that is behind Classic Pizza. It was the old head shop. Used to be, oh God, I forgot the name of the salon that it was. But anyway, we came in, redid the whole thing. And then about a year and a half in, now I'm not going to share our personal stories, but I always say the analogy, it's kind of like sharing a sports car, right? It's like you guys buy a Corvette, you get it on the weekends, but it never feels truly yours.
Yeah.
Because you have some ideas, but he might not like the rims you want to put on it. So you're always in this back and forth thing. And we had a great business relationship, personal relationship, but it was time to kind of go our separate ways. And I went, we did a little buyout. I went to Danielson. He kept the shop in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And that brought us to 2017, where I opened up the Chop Shop. And he then changed the name to Angelo's Barbershop. And I took the old Dow's building next to Surplus, a couple of spots over,
Okay.
built that out. That was like my fourth shop that I built at that time. So I was kind of used to it. It's crazy hard work. I mean, that was the most stressful time, man, because I had 7 days to build this shop. And of course, contractors come in, yeah, a day and a half tops, and it's always more. So I knew that. And they were great. But, I worked my butt off. And the mail lady, I remember she'd come in, she'd be like, there's no way you're finishing in time. It's like, 3 days? No way. I'm like, oh, thank you for the words of encouragement,
Right.
but I'm going to make this happen, and I did. And then again, it was like, now it's like starting all over, right? Am I going to be successful? Was it my business partner that made the business, not me? You doubt yourself a little bit. I think it's natural.
Yeah.
So I hired a barber, and now we're going to be hiring, we'll have 6 people as of this year.
Wow.
I'm going to add 1 more. And I'll keep growing if need be, but it's
Yeah.
been a tremendous success. I have an amazing team right now. Everyone is passionate, responsible, hardworking, and dedicated to the Chop Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think it's a good place to work. It's a good place to come to. Yeah, I think, barbershops for a long time, right? They were kind of like, you're in and out in 5 minutes. It's walk in, it's the military high and tight, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the things have changed. The industry's changed.
Yeah.
Guys are coming in, they want it perfect. It's the beard. We introduced hot towels. Not like I was an innovator of that, but I brought it back, for the
Yeah.
traditional
Right.
feel.
Yeah.
Doing straight razor shaves, scalp treatments and all that. And guys are loving it, man, because
Yeah.
it brings it back to the root of barbering. Guys have a place they can go to BS, and it's like I don't want to say therapy session, but it's a place for guys to vent. We talk about whatever's going on in our lives, and I think it's really important. And it's kind of the best of both worlds for me. I get to do what I love and talk to people, listen to music, and kind of BS. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of my
awesome.
story. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's funny you say like a place to go where, and so when I was growing up, Bullies over in,
Oh, yeah.
in Moose Up was where we went here and there. We never had the every 2 weeks we get our haircut. That just wasn't how our family was. And but when we did go there, it was funny. My grandfather had to bring us one time, and so I had two grandfathers growing up. I was very blessed in that way. One of them was a Democrat, and one of them was a Republican. I don't want to get into that, but it was funny to sit down at Bully's, and my grandfather, there was like, I don't know, there was 10 of us. It was a stacked house at the time, and he had two chairs going. And someone said something about guns or something like that, and my grandfather said, "Yeah, well, I always carry mine," and he pulled it out.
Legally, of course.
This was like no, it was legal. And this was like early '90s. Like I'm third grade, you know, and and then it was like everyone in the room was carrying. Including Bully.
Oh yeah, you always had
and it was like this is my grandfather's barber shop forever now. And
he's found home,
and he loved it. And it wasn't long after that. My mom's side, my great uncle Jerry had opened up his little retirement barber shop over on Route 12. It was called Jerry's.
Jerry the barber. Yeah.
And so he would just give us haircuts for free. He wouldn't even take a tip from us. It was like, so that's where we went because we weren't well off and we didn't really value our looks very much.
It was a haircut, you know.
Yeah, it was, and most of the time we were just getting buzz cuts anyway. So so we went there forever, and then I actually married into my mother-in-law's a hairdresser. So and then I lost my hair. So
me too.
so that's kind of like where it went. But it was just always funny that, you know, Bully's was that like place for people who needed their haircut and were Republican for the most part. It was kind of funny that way. So I get what you're saying, where there's like a culture that kind of goes with every barbershop.
Yeah, you know? For sure. And I've personally kept I think back then, right, the politics weren't as divisive. It wasn't like a make or break type thing. Nowadays, it's like, forget it.
Yeah.
I keep all my personal stuff to myself, and I've learned that lesson.
Yeah, it's not worth having it in there either. Right? No. It's supposed to be... Women go to the spa, men will go to the barber shop. I had never been to a physical barber until 2016, and I am also bald, so I did not even get my hair cut, and it was a gift from, I was in a wedding out on Cape Cod, and so I took all of the other stuff that you guys do, like the ears, the wet hot towel, like all that extra stuff.
Was it our shop?
My beard, no.
Oh, okay.
We were down in the Cape.
Gotcha.
So there, he booked it for like all his groomsmen.
Yeah, the works.
Yeah. But unfortunately, he didn't get the money's worth out of me and a couple other people because we had short beards and no hair.
Yep. Yeah, it happens, man. And I think once they get a prescription for that to regrow hair, I mean, that's good news for me, right? Both ways, you know. I can grow it back myself and make money from it. So
yeah,
I'm just waiting.
Because when we were at one of I think it was my Uncle Jerry's like 80th, or it was him and his wife's anniversary or whatever, and I had another cousin who had grown his hair out to like his shoulders.
Yeah.
So, and I had just been, become bald. I started shaving, and it was like the first time anyone had seen us. And it was Jerry's son who walked up and he goes, "You and I have changed our looks." I was like, "Yep." And he goes, "And you're about to put my father out of business." I was like, "Yeah, I just started shaving." It wasn't because I love going to the barbershop. I love he used to have he would do the straight razor shave around your neck and everything, but his shaving cream was warm.
Yeah, the hot lather machine.
Yeah, that was that. I didn't mind that at all, and usually there was someone there to shoot the BS with and stuff like that. And he finally fully retired and passed away. So
I heard that. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. That was what, a couple of years ago, right?
Quite a bit. He actually had moved into one of the old folks' homes, and I don't know if that's the correct thing to say, but that's what he moved into.
Yeah.
And he was doing hair there a little bit here and there.
Oh,
and then,
Can't take the hustle away from him.
I know. and then unfortunately, yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, I knew him actually. He was a great guy. I bumped into him at Hank's restaurant probably about
Okay.
3 months prior to him passing away, and we were talking about, I always respected my elders in general, but especially older barbers, and kind of hear the stories and kind of keep that tradition alive.
Yeah.
Now his son is Ron, right?
Ron. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, one of them, he's got 9 kids.
Oh God.
Yeah,
my God.
they're baby boomers. For sure.
How many of them are barbers now?
I don't think any of them. So one of the sons owns Taylor Brook Winery, who actually passed
okay.
away, and then Ron became a cobbler like Jerry was in his first career.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then now Ron has another certification even above that to do medical shoes and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, he had a little cobbler shop right out of the garage next to
kidding.
where Jerry's barber was.
It must go hand. That's why I'm watching boot videos on YouTube. I bet it's in the blood.
Oh,
If you
yeah?
like one, you must like the other.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Uncle Jerry picked both of those trades up in the Navy. So
Yeah, I mean, forget being a cobbler nowadays, though. I mean, unless you're in New York City or something,
Yeah.
it's all throwaway for the most part.
right, it's based on medical stuff, really.
Yeah.
Is where you get your
Yeah, your niche.
where people need custom shoes. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, there's still one in Willimantic surviving though.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's true too. Yeah. And he sells quite a bit of like.
Well, he does. Yeah, exactly. He's not just a cobbler. He has like a whole shoe store and sells a lot of different brands, and that's probably
Right.
helping significantly. Although my wife has brought him quite a few shoes to fix the leather on.
Yeah. Plus, when he gets you into a shoe, even if it's not one he made, he's like getting it to your foot. Like he kind of like finds a brand that best fits your foot. Kind
Okay.
Of,
Right,
like,
yeah.
Out of his brands or whatever. I haven't actually been there, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. So maybe someday we'll have him on. No.
Yeah. right?
So, but back to the barbershop now. What's the address? Because I know it's over by Papa's Pizza, right?
Pizza Pizzazz.
Pizza Pizzazz.
Yeah.
That's what.
So it's 136 Main Street, Suite 104.
Nice.
So right on the side of Pizzazz.
Yep.
And the place is huge, dude. It's like 2,000 square feet. I walked in when my landlord showed it to me because the same landlord had the previous shop that I was at, the Dallas building.
Oh, no kidding.
And during COVID, so that's something I could even touch on. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
So we get this phone call. No, actually an email because we're following COVID, and at this point I'm like, damn, this seems like it's like out of a movie. I'm like, this is real. We're possibly going to get shut down here. And sure enough, we got that. I think it was like March 17th. Got that email from the health department. Effective tonight at 7. You're done. And we're like, all right, maybe a week or two, right? It'll be a nice little vacation. And then 3.5 months later, we're sitting there making no money. And at that time, my landlord was like, hey, I have a bigger spot. I'd like you to come check out. And at that time, I'm like, dude, I haven't made money in almost 4 months. Like, I'm hemorrhaging debt. But he's like, I'll make it worth it. We'll figure something out. So I went over, looked at it, and I showed the guys, the team, and they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it was, it was just so big. Usually the shops, to keep your overhead appropriate, you don't want something too big or too small,
Yes.
And I never had that shop that was big enough for growth, for
Right.
more than what I usually had, 4 stations or something. So I went over and looked at it, and I mean, it was perfect. So I took that risk, jumped on it, signed the lease, and best thing I ever did. Because location is truly,
Yeah.
I mean, the ease of access to your business is something that I think some people overlook, or maybe they're getting a good deal someplace. Nothing wrong with that, but for me, it just worked out great.
Yeah. Not every business requires that ease.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, definitely the foot traffic there is great, and hopefully we bring more and more and
Yeah.
more.
Oh
and,
man, I'd love to
you
see
know,
it.
So did you build that out during COVID?
Yeah. So right after COVID, because we didn't get paid, dude, till June 20th was my first paycheck for the unemployment, right? But because I don't pay into unemployment, it was like this whole stipulation, like, oh, you need to wait because you're a business owner and you don't pay in, so keep checking the site.
Yeah.
And you're paying to keep all your bills. I got kids, and it was a wild time, but I got that lump sum of money, and I just took some of that, obviously, and I built out the shop
Yeah.
and took that risk, and it was worth it because it's the positive foot traffic. People are spending money at Pizzazz, at New York Pizza,
Right.
at the physical therapy office, at the salon across the street, and
Yeah.
then actually, so I fix iPhones or I fix phones. Chris Magri, he would before this he would drive around and he would meet you at like Dunkin' parking lot and fix your phone screen, right? And he ended up fixing mine, and I was like, hey, dude, you know, I got this office I could rent you out for a great price, and you could have like a permanent location, you know? So he called me about 2 months after that, give or take, and was like, hey, I think I want to take you up on that. So now inside of the shop, my old office, which I did nothing but lay in a recliner, you know, it's not like I'm crunching paperwork back there, is now his office. So it's even more foot traffic, and we both complement each other. His customer's like, oh, wow, this place is great. You guys have time for a haircut, or can I make an appointment? My customer drops his phone. I'm like, yeah, dude's right there. He's done mine 3 times in 6 months. So, yeah.
And that's what he's called? iFix iPhones?
So it's iFix. Yeah.
Oh, iFix.
I don't
phone.
think it's not just iPhones. It's Android too, laptops,
Yeah.
tablets, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
great
awesome.
guy. Check him out if your phone is broke.
Yeah. Now, walking by your place, did I see a pool table in there?
Yep. You sure
Okay.
did.
That's awesome. So my wife actually won a gift card to your place.
Okay.
So she said, you know, take my son Matthew, and I will. And I got to make an appointment.
Yeah.
But now you just go and play pool while you
Yeah.
wait. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like,
well, dude, I had like a dance floor out there, you know, with all this. The waiting room was huge. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just too much empty space. What can I put here?
Right.
Pool table seemed like a good idea, so
very
we did
good
that.
idea. Very good idea.
Yeah, we got a little break room. We got foosball, a claw machine, so you can get the dollars for your kids and spend a little.
Oh,
bit on
good.
that. You know, we put like a $50 gift card in there. So
Nice.
So it's like a man cave
Yeah.
that is also a barber.
exactly,
It's also a bunch of other stuff.
yeah. Because at least if people are waiting, they have something to do. The kids are entertained,
Yeah.
and that just makes the whole experience easier. And
Yeah.
more
Yeah, I
enjoyable.
remember reading magazines or looking at magazines or whatever at barbershops, and like, you know, it was always like, as a little kid, it felt like a wait, you know,
Oh,
like a
yeah.
big wait. It always seems like a longer wait when you're a kid.
for sure. Yeah. So one other thing I just want, actually, since you brought up gift certificates, I brought 2 gift certificates today. Whether you guys want to keep these for yourselves or hand them out to someone who comments on the video or some of your followers.
Okay.
Each good for a haircut. So
Oh, thank you so much, man. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Thank you very much.
yeah, no problem. So
I mean, you don't need hair for a hot towel or any of that
Exactly.
stuff. It's like-
even a shave, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give it to someone who has hair,
Do,
whatever you want.
do we know, are we able to figure out who shares the video first? Is that like a thing? Can we do because I'll
The
give
tech
mine.
department has not analyzed a lot of the metadata that's come out. We might be able to, but
Let me see here. Hang on. All right, so it is 6:43. Whoever the first comment is from 6:43 will get mine right here. First positive comment. We'll add that in too,
Yeah.
and I'll reach out and we will get this free haircut to you for anyone that comments. Is there any comments?
Yep.
Yeah, we got.
Brandon Long,
Ah, there he is.
He
What's
just
up,
did.
Brandon?
buy 5 get 1 free. Brandon gave a hand. He was the first comment.
Nice.
So Brandon, actually, shout out to him. During COVID, I was like, all right, well, how can we drum up money? You know, because
Yeah.
the thing was, right, if you got caught cutting out of your hair, out of your house, the health department was like, we're going to take your license. So it was like, and dude, at the beginning too, it's
Yeah.
like, my wife's hitting me with Lysol when I'm coming in. You know, we were all, it was scary.
Yeah.
So I really didn't want to risk losing my license doing haircuts. So I was like, all right, well, how can we get some money for me and the barbers? So we started selling gift certificates and kind of giving a deal. And Brandon's awesome. He went on and bought, I think it was like 5 gift cards.
Yeah.
And gave me the money up front, you know,
Right.
and then they could come in and redeem them after. And, you know,
When
I appreciate
back
everyone
up.
that helps. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what a small community is about, right? You know, small business,
Yeah.
that is it. It's people, you care about people, they care about you. And thank God I knew good people that helped me through that time.
Yeah. And yeah, Brandon's definitely someone we're gonna have on here. We're all him and I actually met at Dunkin' Donuts,
Okay.
and just waiting in line together. And we started BSing. We were both carpenters at the time.
Okay.
I've translated into or transferred into transformed transitioned into real estate. So. But yeah, we remain close over the years, and we both used a mutual painter, Ed Peach.
Gold standard painting. Right?
Yeah, gold standard painting. So they kind of both want to come on here at the same time, so that'll be a fun episode. But I can remember in the pandemic, Brandon would drive home and shop at all the local farms, and just spread it out. Buying local was such a huge help during that. Huge, that crazy event that I've said it before, I'll say it again. It was probably one of the most mishandled events in human history.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncharted territory, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, I understand from both sides, like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, you're almost like a referee, right? Like, whatever call you make, someone's going to be mad.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people.
We won't go crazy.
I don't know how far you want to get into it.
I just had such an issue with them saying who is and who isn't essential, and I'm like, if it puts food on your table, you're essential.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that was my biggest thing, is like, okay, give us guidelines to be safe or whatever, and distance and stuff, but don't shut people down.
Don't say who's important and who's not.
Right.
You can't
exactly
define essential.
Yeah, that was crazy to me, and for whatever reason, it's shelter, I guess. Real estate was essential, so I was one of the lucky ones, I guess. And so at least now we're coming out on the other end. Hopefully, most people will be able to survive one way or another, whether they did a job change or they shut their business down and started back up, or any of that.
Yeah, you adapt, right?
Right.
You gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, we had people sitting outside in the winter. Like, I think, it was like right after the winter, or the winter that we headed into after COVID hit.
Yeah.
And, no one could wait in the shop, and we couldn't do beards, and that's like a bulk of our business. A lot of guys would come in just to get a beard done. It's like, sorry, no facial hair.
Wow.
But it's like, you're in my chair anyway. Some of the stuff didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you kind of had to toe that line between.
Yeah, you didn't
do what you got to do to make money. Break a couple rules if you're not anyone.
Yeah, it's crazy that they threaten your license every.
Oh yeah, it was like a $10,000 fine too if you got, because we were doing a haircut one time and someone took a picture from the parking lot and one of my barbers had his nose out of the mask, and we were looking at like a $10,000 fine possibly.
Oh my gosh.
It was just craziness, but I'm not mad at anyone.
Yeah,
Stuff like that brings emotions out of people.
I mean, you wouldn't be where you were today, right? So who knows if that spot would even be open?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
right.
So you never know where it's going to bring you.
Yeah.
And thank God you survived and flourish now, right?
Yeah.
It was strange though, because it's like we had all these regulars for, I'm talking 15, 20 years, and then COVID happens, and some of them you just never saw again.
Wow.
And then it was like day one you were starting a new business, but everyone was at the gates just like waiting, like it was Black Friday shopping, because everyone wanted a haircut that bad,
So I won't name names, but another barber did tell me that they also had the same issue. They lost a ton of business, and what they found out was there were people doing haircuts at home, and they stayed with those that did their haircuts at home and never came back to their original barber.
I think they felt slighted that we were like, we can't accommodate them. But it was, we had a lot more to lose. A lot of these guys were
of course
unlicensed barbers. So what's the consequence then, right?
Right,
they can't pull your license because you don't have it. Then it's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where it was kind of. I think it could have been handled better, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least we got that lump sum of money, and
yeah, I mean, eventually you came
something
and
with
you were able to bridge the gap from financially.
Yeah.
And like he said, you ended up with a better spot and
it all works
a
out.
lot of space, and you have room to expand. Too.
Oh yeah, I could, if I wanted to get creative, I could put another 8 stations in there if I wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because some of the rooms we're not using, if you
Right.
knock down a couple temporary walls, I could put as many as I want. So I plan on doing one more for now. And that's huge, 6 barbers in Danielson that are fully booked every day.
Oh my gosh.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's ecstatic.
But you have to you can't get complacent and just be like, all right, this is what it is. I'm happy. and I'm going to leave it alone. You can do that, but that's just not the way I operate.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, what's next? What's my next goal? How am I going to grow this? Because this is what I know, and I want to maximize its potential for financially and just successfully. You know, I want to do what I can do with this.
Yeah.
So if it's more stations, it's more stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to adapt with the. I mean, even just adapting to the social media mindset, or even like this, like you reaching out to us to come on here to try and get more.
Sorry, that was.
Get more business through your door, right? I mean, you always have to be on the forefront of all that stuff.
Yep.
And social media is not going away, so you might as well learn how to use it, because the next generation is just going to continue to be involved in it more and more.
Yeah. Now, to my knowledge, there's places in like the cities that have like almost like a they'll do shoe shining and tailoring suits and stuff like that. Would there be like a expansion in that way?
It's funny you say that. I've wanted a shoe shiner for years, but I don't even know one. Like, I have to just watch YouTube videos, and I swear to God, I do it myself, because I watch that Angelo shoe shines on YouTube, and
Yeah.
you'd have to just, I don't think you need a license or anything. You know, you just learn how to do it. And a younger kid that wanted to hustle and make some money on the weekend, because maybe it's not dress shoes where you're treating leather, but it's sneakers. If you clean them up like they do at the mall with those kits, why not?
Well,
You know?
I will say, when I was in high school, had a couple of friends graduated and went into the military. One friend in particular was in the Air Force. He came back for a few weeks, and he showed me how to shine my own shoes, because he was just like into it. You know, it was just kind of like a cool thing. It just brought your, he was like, this, you can see some of these old veterans, and you know that they're a veteran just because their shoes are shined a certain way and stuff like that. And it was kind of cool, because we'd go through and we'd see people, and he's like, that guy's military. And then, of course, I would go up and ask him, because I was just like that, you in the military? And he, yep. It was just like, and I was like, my friend here is the Air Force, and he noticed your shoes. And, we just got into a conversation with him about it. But like, it was a cool process, and it wasn't like you don't use that liquid with the sponge on the top. It was like, we went and got real black and brown wax. It was like, I think Kiwi made it.
Yeah.
And, you get the cotton,
The shine cloth.
shine cloth, or the chamois, or whatever it's called. And we shined our boots up, and it was kind of funny. Just, people would, it's just another thing of, as far as military goes, it's like a uniform thing, and it looks really respectable and stuff like that.
For sure. And I think it's a lost art.
Right.
Like a lot of things. And
Yeah.
this society now, it's throw away everything. It's, we just don't put the care into things that we used to. I mean, my God, dude, they built the barber chairs. I have, like 5 chairs at the shop. Some of them are antiques. The ones that were built 80 years ago could last another 80 years. They overbuilt them. They built them so well that it lasts 4 barbers their entire careers. Wow. And then they realized, like, damn, we're never going to sell another barber chair because they're too friggin' good.
Wow.
So now it's cheap Chinese crap. The pump is warranted for a year. You pay $2,000 for it, and it's just the structural integrity isn't there. And probably the same reason why the refrigerators from the 1950s are still running in some guy's basement, but your new Samsung is frying circuit boards. I mean, it's just, but back to it, it's like to find those old things, that charm to it, and have that, it differentiates you from other businesses if you have that to offer. Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of a cool touch.
And I'll say, you share a parking lot with the courthouse. There's got to be almost every employee there would want a shoe shining, and all the lawyers that come in and stuff to have a break and go shine their shoes or whatever.
Sure.
And,
well, if anyone listening wants to be a shoe shiner, then hit me up, man.
That's pretty cool, especially when you think about like some kid in high school. I mean, no offense to any career shoe shiners, but it took me 2 hours in an afternoon to understand how to shine a shoe.
Yeah.
And I did it when I was like 17 or 18, and I've never forgotten. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you said, a lost art, and that would be cool to bring it back, and then be just that much more inclusive for your shop.
Yeah, I'm with it, man.
Yeah, I mean, the barbershop in general is a pastime, right? I mean, they've been around forever with the pole that spins and always been a strong part of the community. And so your barber chairs are all vintage, and you bring back something like that. I mean, I can't tell you how many airports I've been in, those big chairs, that you climb, they're empty. They used to be, I mean, I'm not that old, and when I started flying for work, they used to have people there. Now they're just like ghost towns.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, just like anything else, a lot of stuff comes in waves. Like when I went out on my own as a carpenter, a lot of like post and beam was coming back, and a lot of like the joinery people were really appreciating. You want to get him another soda?
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt.
That's all right. And
Very informal.
yeah, actually, I forgot to turn the furnace off, or the boiler. Sorry, I always get corrected. I forgot to turn that off. I'm waiting for that to kick in. I'll have to run over there for that. But everything has ebbs and flows, and there's definitely, with more influencers, more people that are just like more concerned with their looks, as far as because there's a camera everywhere. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think more people are just more in that, and then I hope with that it kind of brings back that whole, like, when has nothing to do with money, but when you go to grandma's, you dress your best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you go someplace where you just bring up that level of class out of respect. You go on a job interview, you know, I always wore a suit, shirt and tie, and I would be interviewing with construction workers while they're in their coveralls, dirty and messy and sweaty.
Well, it does something internally too, right? When you dress good, you feel good, you feel important,
right?
And I think people perceive you that way.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dumbfounded sometimes, not to talk garbage, but what people wear to court, I'm like, wow, are you trying to go to jail? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I was always told, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you had a job.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because I had a buddy who had he had a friend that told him he could use his dumpster. He owned like a gas station. He said, "Oh, you're moving, just throw whatever garbage you have in my dumpster, not a problem." The neighbor complained, and so somehow or another he ended up with this ticket for littering.
Really?
Yeah, it was a weird thing. Even though the owner was okay with it, but when he got to court, he was in a 3-piece suit, and the judge was looking at him like, "Why did you wear that?" You know, it was like,
I just rented it, sir.
And it wasn't even that. It was just, he's like, well, I just wanted to show that I respect your time. I respect the justice system. And I didn't want to come here, you know, and make you think I'm wasting your time or I had any kind of ego that would, you know, I just wanted to dress my best for it. And they were like, okay. Well, so just that alone, that explanation, like, cut his
2
fine
years
in
off
half.
the sentence.
Well, it was just a fine. It was like it was a lofty fine though. Littering is like $500.
Yeah.
So he was like,
littering in a dumpster is especially expensive, right?
Well, yeah, because it's not your property.
So the judge sent him downstairs to some person you pay fines to, and that guy asked him the same question: "What are you dressed up for?" You know? And he's like, "I just wanted to show you."
What are you, an attorney?
I wanted to show you that I respect your time and that I've done so. I've just being respectful and classy and whatnot. And he said, "Okay, well, I'm not going to charge you the full thing." And like that took another slice off of it. So I'm like, wow, this justice system is great.
Probably almost paid for his suit with what he said.
So yeah, and he said that all the other people waiting in line to see judges and stuff were not dressed like him, and it go dressing nice and looking good and get
manners, bro.
Yeah,
how you talk to people will get you.
Yeah.
So much further in life, and that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. They're 8. My daughter just turned 8, Caroline, and then my son Liam is 5. And if I could teach them one thing, just manners, man. Because like, if you know how to talk to someone, you can get through situations. If you get pulled over or other things in life, just being able to treat people properly and just have manners and
Oh yeah,
Goes a long way.
it goes a long way. I don't know if you want me to bring this up, but you got pulled over while we were driving.
Is my wife watching?
All right, I'll leave it at that. And we were respectful, and he brought down the fine
Yeah.
for the speeding that may have happened, may or may not have happened.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I think yeah, manners go a long way. I mean, my oldest is 15, and they range all the way down to 6, and it's nice to hear when your kids are out and you're not there to hear from someone that says, "Oh, they're so polite, they're this." At home, it's a different story,
Yeah,
but
you're
at
like,
least
really?
you taught them to be in public to other people
Yeah.
Right.
that they're well mannered, you know, and it makes you feel good that
Yeah.
you know, especially when you see them at home. You're like, I don't think you're talking about the same kid.
Where you're like, you don't do this when you're out, right? You don't do that, right?
Yeah, they say
Please
that,
don't.
you know, they save it for home.
Yeah.
You know, their
Yeah.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's funny. Yeah. So, I mean, 8-year-old might be time to teach her how to shine a shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Little summer job. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Or start cutting hair.
She's cut my hair. Yeah. I have a video of it on Facebook. She was shaving my head.
Nice.
If they want to learn men, I'll teach them. I'll probably teach them either way.
Yeah.
And then whether or not they want to do that,
Yeah.
I'll
They'll have
support
a
them in whatever
fallback.
I mean, even if they want to do something else, having that in their back pocket as even just a job, that if they're going to college or you know, like
yeah, that's spending
you know how
money,
many
whatever.
college kids would love a cheap haircut in a dorm room or
sure.
something like that, you know,
Yeah.
licensed, of course, you know.
Yeah, I get that. It's you know, even an unused talent, it's still a talent, and it can still give you the confidence to
Never know when you need it.
something else, and yeah, never know when you need it, and just overall accomplishment always adds up.
Oh, for sure. Now, do you guys mind if I touch on this Christmas drive that we're doing?
Yeah, you can.
So it's like an annual thing now, right? So about 3 years ago, when I opened up the chop shop, I was like, I want to do something for the community. What if I do like a toy drive, right? So I'd have customers come in, drop off toys, and then I didn't have the resources to kind of like connect the dots with the people that needed them.
Yeah.
So I just kind of put like a message out there. If you're in need, contact me. It'll be anonymous and you can come pick up what you need. And that worked well for a couple of years, but I felt like we could have refined it a little bit more. So Jay Donahue from Aislinn CrossFit,
Oh, okay.
he works with the Access Agency. So that was like, that connected the dots. for me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
all
what you
now I
needed.
got a place. They have the kids that are in need. So last year, I want to say we did like, I think it was like $1,700 on a Sunday, and we raised that money. We went out shopping at Walmart after, got all the gifts. And then this year we were hoping to break that, and we did. We did like, I think 2,800 on a Saturday, a Sunday rather. And dude, it was incredible. So then there was another contribution. So we had like $3,100 to go to Walmart with and just buy, I think, enough toys for like 25 families. And you know, it's, you help a lot. You're helping the community. You're helping your business because it looks good.
Yeah.
But that's not why you're doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you that kind of Christmas spirit. So this next year, I wanted to kind of use this time to reach out to the other barbershops out there. We don't always talk. I respect them. And I'm like, all right, well, what if we can get all of the barbershops in this local area? I don't care what town, Putnam, Plainfield, Griswold, whatever. And on the same day next year, like December or whatever, on a Sunday, we do this big barbering for a cause or whatever we want to call it. I mean, dude, just crunching the numbers, we could get like $15,000 to $20,000 in one day to then, you know, then everyone's included. I don't need all the limelight on this.
Right,
Not why I'm
right.
doing it, but
Yeah.
I just thought, wow, what a difference that can make. You know, I mean,
I
you
love
could
the
do
idea.
a scholarship fund for kids in high school. You could pay for a kid's barber school if he wanted to be a barber, or Christmas presents, whatever. So that's something that is on my list for this year to kind of get in contact and make that happen.
Nice. Yeah, I love the idea, and we are, as you can see, you know, we got a new shuffler, and so now we're actually following the conversation. So it's a little bit more engaging. We're trying to make this platform better and better.
Yeah.
Especially
Professional.
professional, and for guys like you, small business and leaders, and anyone out there that, you know, wants to work on this community with, you know, communication, and
Yeah.
and you know, that's what it's for. And one of our steps, and we're contemplating a couple of the events coming up, is trying to go on location when we can.
That'd be cool.
This furniture workbench is very heavy. I've moved it a few times, and I don't know if we would bring that on location, but the idea of going to events, and if you were going to do a day like that, like there, and we can, if we have the capability by then to go live, like we would do that. We would bring it right to your shop or wherever the central location is to do that. And, we could interview each of your guys, and we can just put plugs in all day. I don't, whatever it is, I don't know exactly how we would, format the show or whatever for like an all day event like that, but like we would do something.
For sure. It just helps to get it out there,
Yeah. And or having you and maybe other barbers on, a week ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Love that.
Like we put you on and just promote the crap out of it.
Yeah, I think the awareness, and then it just speeds up everything. People are booking appointments, and the more feelers you could have out there, the better.
Yeah. Now, do you guys do it the same day every year, or date, I should say?
No, I don't think it's been the same date. It's kind of like we pick. Usually, it's like the first weekend in December. That way, we have enough time where it's like not last minute, where they're getting the presents and everything like that.
Yeah,
we get the list and just go get it.
Go shopping.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, what's your schedule like as far as just so people know? Like, do you have a day off?
So Sunday, Monday off.
Sunday, Monday off.
Yeah, Tuesday through Saturday.
Nice. And I think that's traditional hours.
For barbers, Because if you're going to do a 5-day work week, a Saturday is going to yield you better than a Monday.
Right.
That's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
So we're 5 days a week, typically 8 to 9 in the morning till about 5 to 6. We stagger the schedules. I'll take Wednesday's my short day. Ian might leave at 4 on a Tuesday, but stay late on a Thursday. So I kind of let everyone, because they're technically independent contractors, so they make their own schedule.
Right.
And, they pay me rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a good thing going, man.
That's awesome. And so are there walk-ins or is it all...
When available. Yeah,
when available.
Because everything has changed. Like I was saying before, it's like the old school barbershop was a walk-in because it was a 10 to 15-minute haircut. So it wasn't that long of a wait.
Yeah.
But if it's a 45-minute appointment, you don't want to be sitting there for 3 hours wasting your day.
Right.
So now appointments are preferred. They're online booking at Vagaro. If you go to thechopshop.net, you hit the Book Now button. That brings you to the booking link. All the stuff is there, the description of the haircut or the service that you're trying to book, the price. And my God, that quadrupled our business.
No kidding.
Think about it, right? Like if we were pen and paper before, so you would have to physically be on location to take that phone call, stop what you're doing, write it in the book. As soon as you left, every time the phone rang, it was missed business. And now it's 24/7, 2 in the morning. I'm getting notifications. People are booking appointments, and it just... that access to your books just books you up quicker, and it's so efficient.
Yeah.
I recommend if someone's out there barbering and they're not using online booking, do it.
And what's your website again for that?
So thechopshop.net.
The Chop Shop.
We'll bring you to the booking site, which is Vagaro. So there's a million of them. There's Squire, there's Booksy, a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, we're going to put it in the comments. I believe that's what he's doing.
Trying, yes.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. I love the idea of expanding more barbers, more business for people, more foot traffic on Main Street, more options to do business with locals. That's what our main thing is here is like, how can we get more business to locals? And I'm super excited to see if you get shoe shiners and anything else as you move forward. What else would there be? Like,
and I had a massage therapist, Michelle Rach. She was in there for about a year, a little over a year. She was amazing, like wonderful girl, a woman. But kind of the issue we had is she had an existing clientele, which a lot of them were women, and there is an uncomfortable aspect of like women getting undressed in a barbershop and getting a massage with a bunch of dudes out there, and no one's creepy, but it could still be a little unsettling, I'm sure.
Right.
So that's the reason that didn't work. Where I think if it was like a massage therapist that wanted to exclusively use our customers as her customers, it would have worked better. Because then it's like, you don't have to worry about offending anyone or anyone feeling uncomfortable.
Right.
But I mean, I thought that was a great service, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting your hair done, then you get to relax, have a massage, or the more you could add, the better, man.
Yeah, if you can book both appointments kind of the same.
Yeah.
But if you got 6 barbers in there and then just one masseuse, you know what I mean? That might be tougher to get the works when you want it, you know?
True. Yeah.
But she's still there. She just...
No, so she's not there.
Oh, she's not there.
She was strictly massage therapist.
Okay.
She ended up taking a job somewhere else. She's doing great, but now that's just kind of our break room because I gave my office, the other break room, to Chris. So,
Gotcha.
I got one, and I had another guy that hit me up, and he wanted to do. He's an architect. He's like, maybe I was thinking about putting my architect little firm in the other room. And at first, I saw dollar signs. I'm like, yeah, why not? And then I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be like a strip mall. You walk in, it just didn't flow with the business, so I chose not to go that route. And then we wouldn't have a break room, so.
Get your hair done and design your house. One stop.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely, doesn't really necessarily correlate together. Yeah, I get that. So, so the massage thing is kind of tough, and you got the break room. It's unbelievable to have a pool table. I can't imagine. Like, I probably still want to go now. Just come shoot pool. Yeah, I have to find some friends with hair.
Just tag along.
I'll go with you for your appointment.
You can get the hot towel and just get him shave your beard every week or every other week.
How much is a beard, if you don't mind me asking?
So just a beard?
Yeah.
It's like 25.
Oh,
If
okay.
I'm just going to get a beard shaped up.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you got to make the numbers work. If
Oh, of course.
you don't want the services to be drastically different in price, so if you're taking this service, you're losing money, and this one you're making money, because then no one's going to want that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you kind of have to price it appropriately.
Gotcha. Nice. Was Brandon Long the first one to comment? That's where mine's going?
I probably still owe him a couple too.
Yeah, he just waved though. Do we want to consider that as a positive comment?
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's a wave or if he's clapping hands. I don't know.
Either way, that seems.
But the comment right before that is 2 faces with that they're crying because laughing so hard and says Matt doesn't have hair. So I don't know if that's the way. If that's the way you want to go.
That's why we're all wearing hats, man.
That's it. I mean, we played golf once, and we both were wearing a hat, and we played with this other couple, and then he took his hat off and we go, "You're bald." Like it was like this amazing thing. It was like, yeah. I think he looked at your business card, and that's when he goes, "You're bald," and then you took your hat off.
Yeah.
Like, you still want to be friends?
Yeah, that was a great day. That was then you took me home for my 40th surprise party.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
My wife and his wife and all of them threw me a big 40th out there. So
Nice.
that was just this last summer. But yeah, it was funny the way the guy reacted, and he looked at my business card. Of course, I always give my business card if we get paired up with somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
Try, push the real
You
estate.
give it to everybody. You leave it at my car at the school.
That's what I was told to do when there's an opportunity. And I left quite a few on your car as a joke. That was pretty funny.
What a waste of money.
Only because you threw them out. You could
Just turn on the wipers.
You could have handed them.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You could have handed them out.
For those that don't know, Matt's family and ours have a prank war, and that was a weak one, but you did leave a lot.
Yeah, we it's been a lot of fun pranking the Morrissey family, and I love how his wife gets so upset when I do stuff, and I was like, "You started it."
Dude, I had a buddy, right? Corey Morrison, great guy, but
Works up at User Building Supply.
Corey owns a Blockaway Masonry.
Oh, okay.
Twin brother, him and Craig.
Gotcha.
One day, he's always busting balls. We talk garbage. And I get a picture of my car with an iced coffee smashed all over the windshield. And then he calls me. He's like, "Hey, did you get it?" I'm like, "What's up with that?" He's like, "I got you." I'm like, "Bro, that is incredibly messed up." I'm like, "You're going to pay for a car wash, So then he had a haircut the same day. So you're going to mess with your barber. I have to do something, right? So he sits down. I'm like, "What am I going to do, And he's very vain with his hair. He likes it particular, So I kept the perimeter of his head in the back. I didn't cut that part, so he had like a hairy edge going around his skin fade, and he went out to eat that night.
Oh, you let him walk out.
Oh, I let him walk out. Yeah. And I ended up posting it on social media, and I knew it would get around to him because he doesn't have Facebook. And he called me, and I probably can't say what he said.
That's so good.
Yeah, we try to keep it PG-13 here.
I do an iced coffee in the summer. I had sugar all melted to my car.
Oh, God.
We're still friends.
That's funny. Yeah, I never really even thought of having that kind of prank war, or, that humorous thing. But this is going. Oh, how long have we been doing that? When was the first time your wife put?
Long enough, but I laugh at every prank and she gets mad.
Yeah. Yeah, this last time she was like, "You need to choose a side."
Yeah,
All he did was
I choose both because they're very humorous. None of them are damaging. They're just very well thought out plans. Yet we both use the other to take our dogs out when we're like not going to be home.
Yeah,
which leaves us very vulnerable.
Yeah. There's been times where you canceled me, had someone else take your dog out because your wife couldn't take another prank, which is awesome. I hit a red line. Yes. Wow. So awesome story. I'm glad you're doing really well on Main Street in Killingly. I know the Killingly Business Association is working really hard to revitalize Main Street in Killingly as they did already in Putnam, and like you mentioned Mystic earlier. That's a great place to go, and it's when all the locals work together.
Yeah,
it's basically when that comes together, and we gotta remember reasonable expectations of certain things. Is we're probably never going to get rid of all the box stores, but
but we need that restaurant, in my opinion. You need that anchor restaurant that's, no offense, pizza's great. We have enough of it around here. We need like that sit down business meeting or casual dining, something like the Courthouse Bar and Grill,
right?
That's up in Putnam. That's what I personally think. And then the spot next to it, people want to be in that. And then, we got a couple of coffee shops coming in. I think Chubby Dog and Two Dogs is coming in.
Yeah. Two Dogs has been on here, and Chubby Dog is scheduled, right? They're coming here.
Yeah, a little bit different. Chubby Dog is like a gaming bar.
Yeah.
And Two Dogs, they said they'll be like 7 to 3, like more quiet atmosphere. So,
people love coffee. It should be, plenty of business to go around.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a coffee lover.
Just keep going. But I mean, the retail business, right? That's another. Back in the day, the downtown areas, right? It was like a hardware store, a soda shop, a candy store, just things like that just aren't feasible now. They're not profitable.
Right.
You're competing with box stores and Amazon. So you have to find those businesses that are big box proof, that Amazon can't do. And it's usually food, it's service, industries, things like that. And breweries are big.
Breweries.
Marijuana dispensaries, I'm sure, will be...
Yep.
I'd like to see like a cafe, but like a marijuana cafe.
Okay.
Where basically the equivalent of a bar where you could go hang out, have some couches.
Like a cigar lounge.
Like a cigar lounge, but with,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, not everyone's into it. But I could see the profit in that, the potential in that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of holistic remedies that come from pot. So it's kind of like you gotta, I know you said not everybody likes it or sees it but there's a lot of big opportunities for health and pain relief, which is, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody likes cigars. They just drive by it. Don't go in.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I do think we'll get there to that point, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people ever thought we'd get to the point we're at with dispensaries everywhere.
Yeah. I think the thing holding it up is there's no test, right, to prove how high you are.
Right.
And that's what's really holding this up, because an alcohol content test is that's pretty cut and dry, right? You get pulled over, you had too much, here's a limit. But with marijuana, it's different. So I think once they can figure that out, then you can kind of gauge it more, have it less legal ramifications.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but there are some real some real advances in creativity. When I've never been high myself, never had anything edible or smoke, but I've seen friends like that, just like it helps them sleep, and then they have this other strand, and that makes their artistic, senses just explode. And
I crush seltzers, by the way.
that's all right.
10 months sober tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Good for you, man.
Good
That's
for you.
awesome.
Used to be beers, but
Yeah, and I will say the beer I'm drinking tonight is from Black Pond Brews. It's their peanut butter whoopie pie stout.
If they are watching,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
we'd love to have you on.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say enough about the feedback for this show. We've got people reaching out to be on it. We're booking into March and April.
That's awesome.
And we're doing our best to we were late tonight because we were trying out new equipment. So we're doing our best to have a advance our platform as much as we can, make it more pleasurable to watch and easier to watch. And so we are on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. And I think those are really the long-term videos that you can be on.
Yeah.
I think Twitter does long-term videos now too.
You can, but
videos.
I probably don't have time to do too many more platforms.
Right. Yeah, tech department's kind of bursting at seams as far as time. And Ryan, anything else that you want to add to your story? I mean, first week of December, you guys do a big charity push for toys. I love that, or raising money to buy toys for families in need. And then if you want to shout out your websites or your address, have at it, man.
Yeah, so the address, 136 Main Street, Suite 104. That's right in Danielson. Phone number 860-412-9169. Booking app is Vagaro, and it's thechopshop.net. That'll bring you to the booking link. And yeah, man, we appreciate the support from all of our loyal customers over the years and new ones that we're getting.
Yeah, it's awesome. You have to come back and really whenever.
I could bring the crew with me,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they'd love to.
we'll have, and there'll be other mics too, so you can bring more than one person.
Yeah.
Or you can, we've had people share. So.
Yeah, we can do 4 mics now across that side of the bench.
Yeah.
And then people can share. It's actually better when you don't talk over each other. Which we still have our amateur hours.
Yeah, you don't shut up.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you're always welcome, especially if you're going to do a charity. We'll get you a couple of the barbers on, and we'll make a big campaign out of it.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
And anything we can do to help the success of any local business.
Yeah, same here, man. That's to me, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Small business, small community, help each other out.
Yeah.
And people, and I'm guilty of it too, we're so quick to shop and support big business, right?
Yeah.
McDonald's screws your order up a million times, you still go back. A small business does it, and they write a bad review. That's one of my pet peeves, man.
Yeah.
The Google reviewers that I've had people sit in my shop and give me a 3-star review while they're in there. Like, atmosphere's okay, cut's okay. And I'm like, dude, it's a small.
Wow.
I want the honesty. I really do. I'm not saying give me
Could be
5
face
stars.
to face though.
Yeah, but
It doesn't have to be.
what else do you want? You want me to change the color of the walls? Like, what do you want?
Yeah,
Which
we
is-
found that you're never gonna
You can't please everyone,
can't please everybody.
but
Can't imagine the Google reviews we'll get.
You think someone's gonna watch long enough to give us a Google review? That's high.
Well, they're going to be upset because the first 30 seconds is your ad.
But yeah, well said, Ryan. Thank you very much.
yeah,
coming
thank you for
on.
having me.
And for everyone, thank you for watching. Join us Monday, January 15th at 6 p.m. when we interview Brooklyn, Connecticut's Body Works Massage and Wellness. As always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, and donate local. Have great days, everybody.
Thank you.